Brown.
Networking is the greatest tool and the fastest tool to get to where you want to go. So understand your vision, like we spoke about the other day. Get disciplined to putting your vision into play. And then next is, how do you adequately express to people what you're looking to do so that they can come on your side to help you get to where you want to go, right? Networking is your secret sauce. Networking is that underlying luck, that underlying boost of energy, your golden star, your ticket in. Right? There are places that you won't ever think you could be able to get to right now, but because you met somebody in the grocery store, on the golf course, at Starbucks, while you got your dinner the other night, you meet every and anybody, right? And this is why image is such a big thing. You must look the part. Because when people see you, you can't just walk up to random people that look like they're worth something and say, oh, blah, 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 this my name is You could, but the success rate's not really all that good, especially if your image isn't up to par. So you want to look the part. Look the part. Be ready to be asked questions. Be ready to be nodded at. Be ready to, oh, you smell good. What's that cologne you got on? There are all these doors that you have to allow for people to walk through. And the only way you can allow them to walk through them is if you open them and have them there sitting ready, right? So wear a nice cologne. Don't wear everything. You don't need to wear the most expensive cologne. You need to wear a nice cologne so that when people smell you, it's refreshing, it's new. Damn, he smells good. Where is that coming from? Right? You need to have all these things in place. You need to look good. Get a cut. Try to get it every week. If you can't get it every week, get it every other week. We really shouldn't be going to the barber. We really should be doing this shit ourselves, because boy, if we could have if we could touch up our own line and make it look good and fade up the taper off the sides and give us a little fade every time, bro, we'd be solid. But if you can't do that, get to the barber as often as possible, right? Because you always want to look the part. People should think you're sharp. Dress well. You don't need to go find the most expensive clothes, but you need to find clothes that are form-fitting. Look at your body. Go in the mirror. Does the clothes sit on you tight, or are they baggy like this? If they're baggy like this, bro, you're wearing the wrong clothes. You don't need to look like you're wearing your little brother's shirt, but you certainly don't want to be looking like you're on 600 Life and you just came back down to size. You need to wear things that fit your body well, and they're clean cut and they look good. You need to look appealing. Imagine you walk into a restaurant, right? And the guy in front of you is clean cut. No lint on clothes, no wrinkles in his clothes, smells good, has a straight lineup with a bad shorty next to him. Are you not going to say, damn, he looked good? And if you're not, you're a hater, bro. You're a hater. You gotta at least see these things, right? And when you see them, acknowledge them. And even so, when you see those people, bro, in the one of the best moves in networking is when you see a guy that's emitting exactly, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. A guy's emitting exactly what I'm talking about. You would tap him on the shoulder, be like, bro, you clean as, you sharp as a motherfucker. You don't got to tap him while you're behind him, but maybe you see him from across the room. Maybe he goes to the bathroom at the same time you do, XYZ, y'all pass. You say something. Learn how to compliment. Complimenting is one of the best things that'll help you in life, but also in networking. When you compliment someone who's sharp, it's not just looked around like, oh, fuck, no, it's damn, like, thank you. He recognized my hard efforts to look nice. Thank you, sir. And better yet, if someone who is also sharp compliments me, boy, oh boy, it's a full-on blown conversation. Because now we both understand each other without speaking. You're in shape. You got a nice cologne on. You got a nice shirt on. You got a nice shorty with you, right? You're in shape. You got a strong handshake when we pull up on each other. And we both look the same, bro. It's almost like it's a brotherhood thing. You know when people who drive similar cars, like I drive a BMW. When BMW see each other, let's say we're both driving a BMW and we pull up next to each other and they're similar cars. Like if we both pull up and there's M4s next to each other, bro, and the two of us will get out the car, it's literally a look. It'll be a nod, a smile, a hey, bro, your car look good. Hey, bro. You understand? So if you start to just be who you want to be, like emulate and emit off the energy of who you want to be in open settings, and other people are emitting off that exact same energy, y'all will recognize each other, and then that opens the door for the two of you to have conversation. Once you start having conversation, you need to understand how to explain your story, your vision, and what you want to do in life to somebody within seconds, bro. And it shouldn't be short to the point where they don't understand, but it shouldn't be long where they're bored, right? Remember, this is a quick interaction. This isn't like, oh, we're sitting here, we're buddies for 10 years and we just saw each other. No, this is we're two strangers trying to see what we're about. When you say whatever your name is, he'll say his name is, blah, blah, yo, you look good, yo, what do you do, right? Because at some rate, you have to spend a lot of money to look the way you look to a degree, right? Getting your hair cut every week, going to the gym, getting nice clothes, getting lovely colognes, getting good shoes, all of these things cost money, right? So you're spending money to some degree. So what do you do? That's usually what men ask, right? We're in a competitive space. We're in a hierarchy game. We want to know, right? Maybe they're trying to one-up you. It doesn't matter. The goal is to get in connection with him. So once you get to the what do you do, he will explain what he does, right? And many people, like 98% of people, don't know how to explain their vision or what they want to do or what they want out of life in 30 seconds or less, right? So you need to hone that pitch, because it's almost like you're pitching him into your life, right? So I want to be a XYZ, right? Whatever you do, that's what you want to express to him, right? So I run a content agency for restaurants looking to improve not only restaurant service, but to improve the visibility of restaurants along the digital networking web, right? Something like that. Something real quick, off the fly, right? And then, or you could go the reverse and find your personal brand, but we'll talk about that like next week. You want to talk about your personal brand? Go ahead and do that as well. My name is Mr. Brown, and I help men improve their image so that they can garnish all the revenue that they would like to in their lifetime within a 30-day window. Right there. Bang. It's interesting enough. It's grandiose enough. Okay, cool. What's your number? Bang. And then you'll start having conversation. Right? So networking is something that you must almost hone. You got to get into the groove of talking to people. You got to get into the groove of complimenting people. You got to get into the groove of just being you and authentically speaking what you are and what you're about. Because people want to know, bro. People are interested in what you got to say, but you have to be able to explain it to them in a way that penetrates their brain. Bro, you smell good every day. You look good every day. People want to know who you are, bro. I promise you. Because the normal person is gloomy, miserable, doesn't want to talk to people, head down, shy, closed off body, right? If you sprawl out your shoulders, push it back, your chest open, right? That means you're confident. You don't fear anything. You don't fear anybody. You're fine, right? And so when you emit that energy, like your body is open and expanding, that means you're controlling a space to a degree, right? So your body language speaks to people without you having to say anything to them. So you want to emit something and give off an energy that you are confident and you're also approachable, right? You can be intimidating because, hey, who wouldn't be intimidated by a guy who looks good, smells good, is in shape, clearly a deadly threat if I were to fight him, blah, 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 has a straight face on and a bad bitch next to him. That's a bit intimidating to the average person. So, right, you want to be intimidating, but when intimidation comes to another person who's in intimidation is when you're intimidating and another person comes and they're also in that lane of intimidation. Now it's who breaks first, right? And I don't mind breaking first because I want to know who the fuck you are and what you're about. Get over yourself. Get over your ego. You hear we talk about ego and pride and all of this self-development stuff. It's for shit like this, because your ego will get in the way of great connections that can bring you to the next level. You might be stuck at a certain cap a month right now, right? You might have no money a month, right? Remember, I met my mentor while I was in the grocery store, right? Putting up Coke bottles on the shelf. If I was sitting there and in my own head like, fuck, this old dude can't give me anything. He can't give me any knowledge, any wisdom. I don't give a fuck. I'm here doing my job. I'm trying to make it. I don't want to hear from some old dude. And shoved him off. The amount of wisdom, the amount of revenue I've garnished since meeting him, the amount of opportunities that's presented itself, the network that he has, right, that is now bestowed onto me because we're in such great connection, would have been gone, lost. So self-development is something you need to work on as well. But in the interim, make sure that you're getting all these things down. So when you get into these positions where you can network with people, you're good to go, bro. The next step to a networking is when you get through the networking phase, bro, that first little interaction and y'all exchange numbers, bro, take it a step further. Invite him out to another event that you know is big, right? Or invite him out to somebody within your network that has a bigger network. You know why? Because if you are the gateway to a bigger network for a guy who has a big network, he will see you and garnish you as the guy. Like, he will crown you as that guy who helped me get to this connection. If you make a man money, he will respect you forever, bro. I'm talking from experience, bro. You go to these events and you bring some of your high rolling friends, and then their networks then get intermingled with somebody else's network. Your network not only doubles but triples, because when they start speaking highly of you, and we spoke about this before, when they start speaking highly about you, your reputation takes a huge trajectory upwards. They'll have great things to say, right? They'll speak very highly of you. They'll always remember that if they make some money from a connection at an event that you invited them from, they will always speak about you in their story. Bro, with my mentor, imagine he's making a documentary on his mentees or the success that his mentees have had and has now come back to him full circle. Right? Imagine he could say, oh, I met him in a grocery store at this time doing this, right? And he has done this. And in turn, when he brought me here, I met this guy. Like, it all works. It all works. So when you get to this networking space, do not take it lightly, because it can be the next thing, your next rocket, it only takes one person to meet that can explode your network. And then you just make all of the networks start to touch each other. Make sure that you just become a sponge for information and an access point for the people within your network. Because if people can come to you knowing that you will set them up for success, they're going to want you around all the time. And when you're in a position where you're wanted all the time, bro, now is when your reputation is going to go through the roof, and you will become that key person that people are looking for, because you will put people on. Right? And to put people on and have zero jealousy, zero ego blockage. It's a real thing. Because imagine if, hey, one of the people that you bring to your networking event is your peer. And your peer is excelling in the network, and while you're just the key person, it could get to your ego. I've seen it, bro. I've gotten into issues with people that have put me on for that issue, for that same reason. You get jealous of the connection and how much the person that you put on is benefiting, that you get lost in the sauce. And then the initial connection is lost because now you're in your feelings. So for you, you have to understand how to temper your ego and understand that to be a great key person, you have to allow the emotions to die down, allow your ego, allow your pride and all of these things to hit the wayside, and that you just take the benefit of being the key person. And people will always, especially when you're good to people will always come back tenfold if they're good. Like, if they're good people, they will come back tenfold, right? Of course, there's users. Of course, there's people who are not going to respect you, and you'll get those, and you have to let that roll off your back. But when you get your genuine people, if I were to make a big deal from a huge deal, right, from people, I would pay people out. When I first started, my biggest thing was giving people 10% of the connection that they garnished for me. Right? So if the deal was $1,500 a month, right? That was on the small end when we first started. $1,500 a month, right? The person would get $150 each month. It's true. You have to want to incentivize people for putting you on. You don't always want to do it, but you want to give people enough incentive to bring your name up. And think about, like, imagine if you're the key person, right? And you're not really benefiting from any of the deals that you put people onto, right? But then there's two people that you always put on all the time, and they both get a big deal. One doesn't give you anything, right? But another one extends a gift of 10% of the entire deal. Which person are you going to then want to promote the next time you're in a big position where you can give them the opportunity to thrive? You're going to give it to the person who paid homage to the connection. That is a big thing. Pay homage to where it's due. Don't just think, oh yeah, I'm gonna benefit from this relationship and go about my business. No, don't let that go to your head either. As if when you're on the other side of the network, right? When you're the key person, look for the people who pay homage and the good people who give you that percentage back, whether it be a gift, whether it be a thank you, whether it be a dinner, whatever. Their gratitude, right? When people give you gratitude, you should always put them on, right? But when you're the person that's receiving, understand that you want to give back to the person who put you on, always. Key part. It's a very key part in networking. You have to be able to give back and be grateful for the things that you're getting as you receive them. And people will always want to be around you because they understand that you're grateful and you're not just taking this for granted. But networking is the game. You have to learn that. That is where your success lies. Even if you're not in the entrepreneurship space, that is where your jobs lie. If you get into a job, that's how you get a new job, a better job, right? Is the network, the people you know. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So if you have a great skill, but this other dude doesn't, but he has a connection to the president of the company, yo, you're not getting picked, bro. Sorry to break it to you. You gonna get one. Oh yeah, we're still going through the applications. We'll get back to you soon. 3 months later, position gone, but they still sending you the same bullshit. Don't get trapped in that trap, bro. You don't need to fall in line with the rules of the normal society. You can make your own rules. That's why I love business. Business isn't just, oh, cut and paste. This is the contract. This is the payment. This is the result. No, it's a little bit different. These are the rules that I can finagle for my benefit and also for you to benefit. So let's do that. Then we get to the money part. Oh, this is where I sit. This is where you sit. Let's break this up, but make sure that it benefits the two of us. Okay, and then you get to the result. And then you package that whole shit up together, right? And I know I'm going off on a tangent. You package all of that shit together, and then you look over everything to make sure that every party agrees to each step, and then you start to execute. Business done, right? It doesn't always need to be like it has to be this. Right? And so don't take your life that serious where you think that because it says that in the contract that it has to be that. No, you make life work for you. And networking is one of those cheat codes and one of those things that will elevate your life well beyond what you think you have. And just because you might not be in the position you want to be in right now, don't think that you have zero network, bro. I bet you if you open up your phone and you find all the people that you know or even are associates with, that their network, they have somebody in there that you need to connect with. So start talking to people, bro. Don't just think like, oh, I'm going to sit in this corner and wait for life to happen to me. Fuck no. Life is going to smack the shit out of you if you expect it just to breathe roses and bring chocolates and shit to your doorstep. Fuck out of here. You better attack that motherfucker and go talk to everybody you know and figure out who got the best network that you can bring some value to. And if you don't have a fucking value, if you don't have any value yet, you better learn some. You better add some value to your life because it ain't just, oh, show up to the part and look the part, but not the part. You understand that? Don't show up to the part looking the part, but you're not the part. Be real. Have the value behind all of this that I'm talking about. Look good, smell good, in shape, got the girl with you, do whatever. But you also better have the value, a business, a skill, more network, like a bigger network that you can give to people. It's real, bro. So chew on that for a little bit. Holla. Boy, Mr. Brown.